This is your girl Chrissy Speaks, and I am with the queen of funk rock, the beautiful SAPPHIRE MONET. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Now, before we start, tell us a little bit about your name. Is there any symbolic meaning or history behind it?
Yeah, it was the name that I was born with.
Come through. What's your real name?
My real name. My first name is Sapphire. My middle name is Monet.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, I just introduced you as the queen of funk rock.
Yes.
So how would you define the funk rock sound or genre? Because this is not old school. This is a modern new age sound. So how does SAPPHIRE MONET define funk rock music?
I would say it's just what it is, an infusion of funk and rock and roll.
Yeah.
An infusion of like a Millie Jackson type of approach.
I like that.
With a Jimi Hendrix type of sound.
Yes.
A little bit of Boosie in there.
I know you like them too, so we're going to get into those artists later. So you have hits like Psychedelic,
Yes.
Floating. One of my favorite ones, Pusha. But your latest single, Rock and Roll, that was released in April of this year and is available on all streaming platforms. What was the process like in creating that single, and how would you say it differs from some of your past hits?
I would say it's different because I have a really deep passion and love for rock and roll.
I love that.
So what I did with this record is I took the artists that some of the rock and roll artists that I am inspired by, excuse me, that I listen to, and I just made a verse. I just put them all together and made one verse. So the entire first verse of the record is just names that I just included together.
Yes. Now, what are your thoughts on the music industry today, especially being a Black woman artist? Is it challenging making the music that you want to make? Do you find that people often box you into the traditional hip-hop or R&B category?
I have, excuse me, I have been with the R&B thing before I actually took the time and solidified the sound.
Yeah.
And before I embraced it myself, because, you know, people don't engage in what they are, you know, unfamiliar with.
Right. So
it takes a little longer to pierce through someone, you know, to just get them to pay attention, and then some just come on out and do it. So once I, you know, got that together, and I was like, this is funk rock, this is me. It gave me the confidence to move how I wanted to, because it was it humbles you in the same way as motivates you, and that's why the outcome is different, because it's not like one or the other. And I think the industry now is pretty much that. It's like one or the other, and if you have both, protect it. You know, protect it and be creative. And don't apologize for it. Live in that.
You heard that? Don't apologize for it. Now, when I listen to your music, especially Pusha, because that's really one of my favorite ones, I think raw, sexy, powerful, futuristic, but vintage, all in one.
Well, thank you.
So with everything that's going on, how would you say funk rock has given you this freedom of self-expression?
Because of everything that's going on. It's like when we are so bombarded with, first of all, the everyday life of now, even COVID, after COVID, before everything was how it was. You know, everybody has made adjustments, but I think that is the reason why, because of how everything is. It should just be that push.
Okay. Now, I know artists that you mentioned earlier, like Jimi Hendrix, like Millie Jackson, have played a huge part in some of your influence. But I've also read that if they had a baby, you would be that baby. You would be the firstborn. But just listening to your music and then just how original you are, I feel like you could be a lot of people's babies.
Oh, well.
So I feel like when it comes to other legends, I said Prince could be a dad. Shaka Khan would be your mom. And then when it comes to your godparents, I said James Brown is your godfather. And of course, Erykah Badu would be your godmother.
Yes.
See?
You see?
Okay.
Yes, we're here.
But Now, if you had to choose one of those artists,
yes,
that I just named to work with, who would you pick and why? So we said Jimi Hendrix, Prince, James Brown, Erykah Badu, Millie Jackson, and Shaka Khan. Just one.
Just one?
I'm sorry. And what would the name of your single be?
Okay, it will be Millie Jackson.
Ooh.
And the name of the record will probably be...
I just knew you were going to pick a man. I just knew you were going to pick a man. Okay, and why? All right, elaborate. Sorry.
Okay, so the name of the record, that's a good question. I think the name of the record will probably be
Kiss It.
Yeah, something like that. Or Time for It.
Ooh.
Mama Millie. Come on,
I
we're
love
gonna
it.
figure something out.
I love it. I love it. Now, what do you say to up and coming artists who also want to pursue rock and roll music and the funk rock genre, but they might be hesitant due to fear of being either misunderstood or being boxed in the traditional way that they often do people of color?
Right. Rock and roll is such a diverse genre.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know where the berry came from.
Where it came from?
We already know where the berry came from.
Yes!
We already know how rock and roll started with the berry, you know, no, shouts out to King, you know.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry, but it's such a diverse genre that I think that any way you make it or any type of addition or any type of spin you put on it, it would always be acceptable to somebody because it is the foundation of it is rock and roll.
Yeah.
And everybody loves rock and roll.
Everybody loves rock and roll. I love that. Now, with everything that you're doing, because you're not only a vocalist, you're also a songwriter. Yes. What has the response been like from friends and family? Do people say, no, Sapphire, you can do this, you should do that? Were people very supportive when it comes to rock and roll music and just living your truth?
Honestly, not too many. You know, because rock and roll is also put in this box that we are not supposed to do it. So when we do it, it's not as accepted. But so it wasn't as, you know, to some of my family and friends. And it was just like, listen, if you do this, try some R&B. Maybe even go take some lessons in rap. I'm still going to try taking some lessons. I ain't going to rap though. I want to learn.
I hear that.
I'm just saying,
Well, what do they think now? Because you are traveling, you have fans internationally, and you're growing and expanding your empire. So now, is it, oh, so when can we come on tour with you? Or when can I come to the performance? Let me get some tickets.
Different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I bet.
It's different now. But it's also, like I said, it's humbling. It's humbling because not even though they're your family, and even though they're your friends, just like I don't put the burden of support on them just because of who they are.
True.
So if I'm going to accept outside, or if I'm going to, you know, try to figure out, oh, okay, well, this part of this world don't like it that much, but this one likes it that much. What's the difference between my family? Yeah. Because I'm still going to put out music, so what I'm not going to, you know, accept my family and friends because they don't. No. You're going to grow in you. Maybe not now, maybe not now.
Period. Okay. Now, you obviously are very beautiful and very confident. How do you keep your confidence or how do you practice self-love, especially in a world full of distractions, BBLs, social media? How does Sapphire Monet maintain her confidence, and what are some ways that you practice self-love?
I try to stay on social media.
Oh, did you hear that?
I do. And it's hard because they say to always be consistent and you gotta post. And, you know, I get it. I just think sometimes what you post, you know, makes a bigger impact on you constantly. And the fact that Instagram is so much of smoke and mirrors, I really try to keep myself stained. So I am a herbalist. I do take time out to, you know, focus on my herbs and meditate. Yes.
Like you
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I stay away from social media as much as I can, and I stay into spirituality. I think it's the only thing that actually keeps me.
I love it. I love it. Where do we see Sapphire Monet in the next 5 years? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, Where are we going? Will we still be in the States? Because I know at one time you lived in LA. I know you're originally from Brooklyn, but you were in New York and then in LA. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Even romantically?
I would answer that question by saying, in 5 years, I hope to be greater in every aspect of my life than I am now. I don't want to specify anything, because if the universe has more for you, and you put less out, it's gonna give you exactly what you want.
Ooh, so I gotta wait and see.
Yes. Just hope you just be greater, better, more motivated, more approachable, more lovable.
I love that. Now, where can your fans and new supporters learn more about Sapphire Monet when it comes to the albums, the singles, performances, tours? If we just want to stay in contact and be up to date with everything that you're doing, social media handles, what's next?
SapphireMonet.com. I do have a little short documentary coming out, so you'll be able to see some things.
Yes.
That I don't put on social media.
Right.
So little things like that here and there. I'm gonna start blogging on my website. So
what you gonna be blogging about?
Everything. I do have a sex line coming out. I'm sorry. If you guys,
you have a what coming out?
I have a sex line coming out. It's called Blue Cream. And
why did I automatically get hungry though when you said that? I automatically thought desserts, pastries. Please tell us more.
Exactly, desserts, pastries at the bedroom.
Lord, it's edible.
But yeah, it's a composition of a lot of things. I love S&M. I love dominatrix. That's why I just really decided to base my look around this. The last record, rock and roll. So it's going to incorporate that, but every piece is blue, and it is crystal.
Come on. Speaking of rock and roll, the latest single, of course, is out, but on the cover art, on the visual, I noticed you have a guitar.
Yes.
Do you play the guitar? Do you play any instrument?
I used to play the guitar. Now I can still hold a note or two. You know, if a band needs somebody and I'm sitting in the open mic, you know, you can holler at me.
Come through.
But other than that, you know, concerts, I'm not your girl. I do get down on some drums though. Sleep on me.
I love it. I love it. So guys, make sure you are intact with SapphireMonet.com. The documentary, the cream, the blue cream that's coming out. You got to stay tuned. You got to follow, support, and make sure y'all are listening for Rock and Roll, which is out and available on all streaming platforms right now. I'm your girl, Christy Speaks, and this is
Sapphire Monet.
And we are out.
Thank you.
Yeah!
Like Jimmy said, excuse me while I kiss the sky. Fantasizing about your body on me, baby. Kinda got me high. I got you wild, got you rockin', rolling back between the turn, that's right. I got you so euphoric, evanescence all through the sky. We up here on Uranus, cold playing through the night. Chuck up this berry, baby, I'll chuck up you tonight. Enjoy this pink berry, light your soul on fire. Cause baby, all this purple dreaming, let's have fun tonight. I know you want me to. I see it in you, baby. If I am wrong, just tell me. But if I'm so wrong, are you with me? Now let's rock and roll. I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that bitch that's in the alley, I'm that doctor when you need, you love my white, you love my weed, you can get it when you want, you're my high, I can't front, you seem to like it, from what I know, shit you say is just like blue, I'm your pusher. Baby, I'm your pusher. I'm your pusher, baby, pusher.
I got to see the star. Come on now.
Baby, I'm your pusher.
Yes! All right.
Thank you,
And we out.